You are a gay man who's had a decent life, okay? Good money, okay love life, decent body, but deep down, you know you are meant for more, okay? This life is going to change how you see everything. Now, this story I'm going to tell first is my own personal story of how I've gone from personally struggling broke, living with my parents, to earning over 7 figures, from body shame, binge eating, from validation chasing, to building my dream body, from feeling like I wasn't lovable, struggling my love life continuously on this wheel, to building this beautiful, loving marriage that just deepens and gets better over time. Now, this is going to be the biggest mindset shift, okay, is it's never about the surface level strategy. It's always our identity first. And I've helped hundreds of gay men transform their lives from the inside out, from losing 10s, 20, 50, 60 pounds plus when they struggled for decades with their bodies, from guys who struggled with their love lives. I've had this guy who's single for 40 years plus find the love of his life, move in together. I've had guys who've charged, say, $650 for his clients, to 10xing this to 5,000 plus. And all of these results are created from this number one thing, which I want to really dive in with all of you today, of what is possible. Because if you can listen into this and hear the true lesson behind this, it can transform your life. It transformed mine, and I would love to just impart this for you. So the number one thing, most of us feel triggered, okay? We all get triggered. We feel triggered, and then we believe the emotion and the story. Okay, so something bad happens, and then we believe it. And we spiral and we stay stuck. Okay, as an example, you go on a date, it doesn't go well, you get rejected, and then maybe you had an ex like me who left me for somebody else, and then I made a story for some time of there's nothing lovable about me, right? And that trigger I'm trying to protect armors me up. And what happens is that when we do that, we armor up and we hold on to the story, this identity. I made this identity, Jared is not lovable, right? Guess what happens? We continuously recreate that. Life will continuously give us that same lesson until we learn the lesson and to move past it. Okay? But unfortunately, for most of us, because life gets busy, gets stressful, when we have these triggers, most people hold on to that. Don't take ownership. When we don't take ownership of these triggers, it holds us back. But the magic here is that when we learn how to own our triggers, it actually makes you a very powerful creator that we truly are. Number one. We're going to go deeper. Now, number two is the identity work. I've got some notes here, by the way. I'm going to go with body now. You don't need another diet. Okay, you don't need another workout plan. So many guys, and I did this before too, right? You're continuously searching for the surface level thing. Maybe if I do this boot camp, maybe I have to do this challenge. Maybe if I go on this diet, maybe if I get another trainer to do this thing. But you don't qualitatively change on the inside. If we don't become that person, right? We don't change qualitatively. Whatever results you get, you might lose some weight, you're going to put it all back on again. You might see some results, you're going to backtrack. Why is that? Because qualitatively, you're still the same person on the inside. Who I am today is a very different human to when I was binge eating, right? And struggling with my body, okay? And staying stuck in cycles. Because I wasn't changing. I was continuously looking for the surface level fix. But when I started to shift on the inside, everything shifted. And this is the same with every single man I've worked with, right? They get these incredible physical results, but first what changed was how they saw themselves. Their identity shifted. Now, this is the magical part though, is if you want these results, right? You want the better body, better health, more freedom, more love. You want to make more income. You want to do what you love more. Making these qualitative shifts in one area of your life has a knock-on domino effect to everything else. This shift first in my body built me the confidence to shift my love life, to shift my income, to shift every single area of my life. Now, this is the work that makes a difference, right? Is that you become, imagine this for a second with me. Imagine instead if you kept on searching the surface level thing, okay? I know life gets busy, you got work, you got all this stuff going on, but imagine instead of searching that surface level outcome, surface level solution that you've been trying for years, stuck in cycles. Maybe it's talk therapy, you keep on talking about the same problem over again, but this time you do things differently, you become a different person. And when I say become a different person, it's not about putting a mask on, it's not about armoring up, it's actually helping you release all those old stories, all the defense mechanisms that you've built over the years, right? And it frees you. Give you an example. One of our guys, right? He had this idea that, firstly, he was bullied as a teenager for his body by these jockish guys, right? And as a result, for over 30, 40 years of his life, he had this idea that if he was to get in shape, if he was to build his dream body, he would become an asshole like all these other guys from the past. Okay? But once we helped him make a qualitative shift, stop protecting that trigger, we've gotten deeper, help him make a shift to say, hey, you know what, buddy? This is a story I know that has protected you for so many years, but help him see that was no longer true. That there are many fit, healthy, strong people who are generous, kind humans, right? That if he were to get super fit and healthy, that doesn't mean that he needs to become an asshole. He can have both. He can still keep his beautiful, compassionate heart, right? And build this body. Guess what happened? Qualitative shift from the inside, different story, different identity, helped him see, hey, you can be brave, love yourself, build this dream body, and have your life get better, and still have a beautiful open heart. Guess what happened? That dream body happened within 3 months. 3 months from this identity shift. And as a result of this identity shift, guess what happened in his business? He had his best months in his business, tripling his income. Why? Identity shift has a knock-on effect. Qualitative shift has a knock-on effect. Now imagine for yourself personally how good life can truly get, right? Who I am today, I could not fathom, right? From those first initial changes I made to how I had snowboarded and everything else, right? Owning myself, owning every single part of me. Those old stories telling me, myself in the past, that something's wrong with my genetics, there's no point in the dating game because all guys are jerks anyway, they're gonna leave anyway, they're gonna abandon me, all came from my old abandonment wounds with my dad criticizing me as a kid, as a teenager, right? Abandonment. But once I started to shift on the inside and love Jared at a deeper level and free myself from that shame, those old stories that held me back for so many years, kept me small, made me feel less than, not enough, because I was creating that for myself. Once I released that, boom, life starts shifting. Life starts shifting. Imagine what can this do for you if you did this work. If you became the person who is capable of holding your dream body. If you became the person that shows up even when life gets messy and busy. If you became the person that is able to be raw, authentic in your love life rather than armoring up. Imagine if you became the person who is brave to put yourself out there on the dating scene, maybe get rejected and go again and again until you find the love of your life, if that's what you desire. Imagine if you became more confident and brave to start that business or start to go put your business out there at a high level or go for that promotion in your work, right? Knock-on effect. Imagine if you became that person that gets to have all that you desire. how would your entire life change? And start to believe in that too. Now I get that when we listen to this, right, sometimes we think like, it's not possible for me. A lot of the guys that come to me first say, Jared, like, I had one guy, I'll share with you this story. It started with me. He found me from this QWERTY article that was launched in 2022. Okay? And he shared with me, Jared, I know you've had all these results with these different guys, but you don't know me. He runs a successful architecture business. Okay? A lot of career success, business success, financial success, but he struggled with his body for over 40 years. Okay? Different diet plans, different trainers, different therapy, all this stuff didn't work. And he said, Jared, I know you are optimistic, but you don't know me. And I said, that's cool, but I still believe in you. I know what is possible for you. Come, you are already here, right? You are here, let's do the work, and I know what is possible for you. And he put himself in there, right? Even though there were insecurities, doubts, and fears, but he said, Jared, let's do this. And he went for it, he showed up. He showed up as that future version of himself, even when there were fears and doubts in the way, right? Guess what happened? He became the golden boy in his circle of family and friends, right? Of fitness. He became the fittest, healthiest guy in his world. From the guy who struggled for decades to the fittest guy. He brought in so many other people into the Darren Academy who also transformed their bodies and their lives. Why? Identity shift. And this is what we do, right? We immerse you in a space where I don't see the old version of you. I don't see the weak version of you. I see the fears and doubts. I get that. I'm human. We're all human, right? But instead of seeing your triggers and believing in your fears and those stories, I see you as your most powerful self. I see you as a big, expansive self that you have learned to suppress and shove away inside a little drawer. Because the world has taught you that that is safer for you to shove yourself away. But what I want to invite you into is to bring him out. You bring him out, tap into that true raw identity of how powerful you are. You start to let go of all those old stories that's been weighing you down for years and decades. Wow, you start to breathe, you feel alive. Life gets incredible, okay? Where you immerse you in this community with everybody else. Imagine this as that you're surrounded by other gay men all doing this work. They're all getting healthier, fitter. They're finding deeper love within themselves first. Many finding love on the outside because of that. Falling in love, right? And you see other people earning more income, going for their passions, their career, their businesses. Imagine yourself surrounded by a community that sees the best in you. I see the best in you. I know what is possible. And if you're listening to me right now and you're going, Jared, this sounds exciting, okay? I am excited about this. It's also been nerve-wracking. Right? Because, and by the way, when I see somebody who's feeling a bit nervous and excited, I go, yes, that is the green light. It's the green light because what it's showing me and you, it's showing you is that you are at the edge of your expansion. You are touching the edge of your truth. And when you start to go there, life expands. And you go, okay, I feel nervous, I feel excited, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I want to explore this, I want to see what is possible. Jared, I've seen all these stories you shared of all these different guys. I see myself in them. Even though there are fears and doubts, that is the perfect space. If you had no fears, by the way, no doubts, no resistance, no thoughts of, Jared, this is not possible for me, right? You would have created all those changes already. Every transformation I've created in my life, right, physically, in my love life, in my income, earning millions plus, and all this stuff, I had fears around. I had to meet that fear. I had resistance around that. If I didn't have that resistance, I would have created it, right? So I just wanted to see that resistance not as a bad thing, but as, okay, this is time for me to go further. Most people see that resistance or that trigger and then they turn away, they run away. I'm afraid, let's run away. But my invitation for you is let's go in. Let's pull you in, let's go for it. If you're feeling the pull to say, hey, I want this transformation for myself, I am sick and tired of spending so many years and decades listening to other people's doubt, more importantly, listening to your own doubt, letting the fearful voice win, letting the self-doubt voice win. I want to go further. I know I'm more powerful. I know there's more inside of me. I just need and I just desire a powerful mirror of a space, community, human, other gay men in front of me that can pull out the best of me. I want you to reach out to me. Send me a message, transformation. I would love to hear from you. Our guys, they're doing incredible work right now. Not just losing a bunch of weight. Some guys, right, they're earning promotions. A guy recently fell head over heels in love in the best relationship he's ever been in. Another guy, Rich, I shared with you guys recently, 62 now, completely off blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, lost over 40 pounds, fittest shape of his life, right? When he spent over 60 years believing in a different story. Okay? I've seen miracles over and over again on a daily basis in my life, in my clients' lives, and I know what is possible. And the saddest thing for me is when I see someone stuck in a story, knowing that there's more, but too afraid to go for it, too afraid to take the jump, and as a result, by the way, most people say this, right, it is too risky for me to take the leap. It is risky for me to try. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of trying. I'm afraid of doing the thing because what if I fail? But my biggest thing in my life is the biggest risk of all is not trying. The biggest risk of all is living your entire life, putting your dreams on hold and getting to the end and saying, I wish I could. The top dying of the regrets, right? There's a famous book, The 5 Top Regrets of the Dying by a nurse. Number one thing is not allowing themselves to be themselves, not pursuing what they truly wanted, trying to live to other people's expectations, not living to their own. And my invitation to you is, hey, let's go live your life. What does that dream life look like for you? And if you can smell it, you can feel a bit of it, you can taste just a smidgen of that hope of possibility, that life can get that much better for you. Believe in it. Because I believe in you. I know what is possible. So I really invite you, send me a DM, transformation, to show you what is possible. When you send me that message, right, by the way, tell me what it is that you desire. Tell me what it is that you desire. Tell me some of the fears that's been getting in the way. I work with this 24/7. I'm so used to it, right? Hundreds of gay men, thousands of conversations. I know those desires and fears inside out. And once you just share those things with me, transformation, what you're wanting, what are the fears getting in the way? Boom, we can crack you open, pop the lid off, and really take you into the life that excites you. That's my biggest, deepest mission from my own journey, right? Is that I live first by example. I heal every single wound in my own life first. I overcome my own life challenges, my big traumas, my little traumas. I lead by example first, see the transformation in my life and all the areas that are important for me. And then from there, I guide other people. That's my mission, is to show others what is possible. I don't believe I went through the painful experiences, for example, being cut out of my father's will, okay, since coming out, from my ex leaving me for others, right, being shamed for my body, shamed for my looks, shamed for my skin color, shamed for my height, all these different things, and I've overcome it. I don't believe I went through all those hard things just for myself. I believe I overcame all those hard things to get to where I'm today, and it's my responsibility to share impart those lessons and help other gay men rise. And that's what this whole mission and community is for. We've already have hundreds of gay men going through this process, creating their dream bodies, love lives, confidence, sexual expression, wealth, income, businesses, all these expansion, right? And the biggest mission is to grow it. And if you're feeling that pull, a smidgen, hope, spark, reach out, transformation. The worst thing that can happen was we have a conversation and say, hey, this isn't the best fit, right? You learn some great key nuggets from our conversation. The best thing that can happen is that by the end of this year, December 2025, your life is in a completely different place. you get so fit, healthy, strong. You love yourself so much more, right? You're putting yourself out there on dates, or maybe if you're already in a relationship, it gets deeper and better, right? You make more money in your career and your business. Things 10x in your life. That's my dream for you. That's how I live my life. That's the people I surround myself with. People who have these visionary growth mindsets. And I believe there's so much more room for so much more gay men to do this work and grow. And I would be so thrilled to invite you in if you're feeling the pull. Send me that DM transformation. Also, by the way, if you're listening to this later down the track, please comment. Let me know what you're resonating with, what key takeaways you're taking from this. If you are brave and open, share your desires and fears directly in the comment section, right? Some of the biggest thing, leave you guys with this, the biggest thing that has freed me in my life isn't actually the successes, okay? The successes sound nice, right? Like, hey, the body, the love, all the stuff, the money, the freedom, time, location, freedom. The biggest success is me being able to show up in life and be my true, authentic self and share my truth unapologetically. That is the biggest freedom. Because wherever you go in life, there you are. And wherever I take myself in life, there I am. And the better, freer I can share myself, the freer life becomes, right? So if you want to share your desires and fears in the comment section, that's damn brave. I would encourage that. If you, though, feel like, hey, Jared, I've got these desires. I want this thing. I want the body. I'm struggling with this. Okay, I've been trying all these things, hasn't been working. I'm afraid, I'm stuck. Maybe I'm afraid I've peaked. I'm afraid like this is as good as it gets. I've gotten into the best part of my life. It's all downhill from here. I get that feeling, by the way. Just know life can get so much better, right? No matter where you're at, no matter what age you're at, life can get so much better, but we do need to shift a few things. If you've got beliefs around your genetics being wrong, okay, or maybe you're unlovable, know that story can feel true, but it is not true. It can feel true, but it is not true. I've seen it over and over again. Send me a message, desires and fears. DM me transformation. I would love to support you on your journey. Thank you for watching, guys, on my big inspired tech talk. We'll see you all soon on the other side.